Hi everyone, this is Austin with Sun Fun Kits. So today we want to give you a preview of the V4 of our kit system. What basically V4 is something we've been sort of working on the back burner, and it's just basically in response to some of the changing dynamics in sort of the cell industry. A couple of things we've noticed that cells overall have gotten taller, and now almost everyone's coming in at 204 millimeters or taller. So we wanted to sort of incorporate a little bit of the changes. So you're probably familiar with the V3. It's been serving us well. We've had very good success with it, and you know, for the most part, it does its job fairly well. It keeps it in place. But some of the criticisms that people seem to have, which again can be taken as a disadvantage or advantage depending on how you look at it, is a lot of people have said, well, we want to have a cell separator, something in the middle, or maybe have vertical heating pads between the cells. And I suppose there's some things to it, but we need to make sure we sort of set a few things straight. This is an ABS case. It is not metallic. There is absolutely no chance that you can arc between the cells. You would have to have something really catastrophic happen, have a conductive plate on the bottom that can complete the circuit. It is next to impossible to happen on an ABS case. So just to throw that out there. However, always looking to improve and sort of go into that tradition. Let's just sort of see some of the differences. So you're familiar with the V3. By the way, the foam inserts are off, so I'm just gonna put them in here. And just to kind of give you a quick overview. By the way, these are the 280Ks. We'll be updating our website shortly, but these are the certified 280K cells. And you see, without the foam, you know, you don't have as much clearance, but so they go in, you know, a little easier. Okay, so this is normally how we have it on the V3 kit, where you normally would put spacers here and stuff like that, and they're touching, you know, each other. When they have the foam, it offers good compression. It's held in very well, so well in fact that you can actually flip this case upside down and the cells are not going to come out. So it's held in really well. But a lot of people have said, I want to have a cell separator, or some people have even said, I would like to have a vertical heating pad between them. Okay, we heard you loud and clear. So that's where V4 comes in. With V4, one of the things that we did was V4 now has an integrated ledge molded into the case. It's also physically a little taller. I know some people are not going to want to hear that because they're already saying we're too tall, but unfortunately it's just the way the industry is. Cells are getting taller and we need to sort of work with it. With the V3, we normally would have this aluminum bracket and it would be clamped on here. But that is no longer the case with the V4. So now I'm going to take the cells out of here and put it into V4 just to kind of show you how they mount and what the little bit of difference is. Alright, inside the V4. So the first major thing you'll notice is that we have quite a bit of space. About 8 millimeter gap, which opens up a few things. The other thing you'll notice is that the ledge itself is taller, so it actually matches most 204 cells, which means if you're using a 200 millimeter cell, we'll have to put a booster on the bottom of the case to sort of raise your cells up. So this will give you enough space to put any sort of spacer that you may need. It's actually wide enough to where you could potentially even have, like, you know, a heating pad between each of the cells to provide heating. And we will offer different foam inserts that can compress it. It will not be EPE foam. It will be maybe a slightly different foam, which will basically, you know, allow it. But you have a little more freedom and it'll be a little easier to assemble. But again, we're gonna make inserts to where when you do insert it, it's gonna be super tight, because that's one of the core principles that we're not gonna move away from. We like to have these cells stuffed tight. We don't want to move them around. So I'll just put on the plate to kind of give you a sort of a visual on how it's going to basically be. Give me a second. So if you put one like the putting like a V3 plate on. Whoop, have it the wrong way. The V3 plate will basically be there. And we'll actually be designing a few different mounting plates. We may have ones with like holes here to, if you want to have like a center heating pad between the two cells, it would come out here and here. Sort of similar to what SFK is doing. And again, there's pros and cons to it. I'll make another video explaining the different heating options. But we could have a heating pad on the floor. You could have the heating pad on the side, just like the V3. Or you could have heating pad between the cells. So the V4 is going to open up that a little more. One other thing, it's now seamless on the sides. So I don't know why, but I've had people say, "Oh, water could potentially get in here," and I'm always wondering what are these people doing with these batteries? I mean, are they taking them scuba diving and trying to see if they can get water in them? I mean, I really don't know, but sure, V4 is now seamless, and you know, it's basically still as compact as it can be. But, you know, now, again, it's going to be a little taller, so I'm going to put the lid on to kind of show you what the difference is going to be. So we'll compare. So the lid is on here. Give me a second. All right, so this is side by side. And as you can see, the lip is slightly taller, but don't be alarmed. I'm going to show you something. If you actually put the lids on, which the V4 is only going to work with our standard lid. It will not work with the low profile lid. So that is one thing that will be a disadvantage. The V4 requires that, but anyway, let's put this on. So if you put the lids on, the V4 and V3 are almost identical, maybe like 1 or 2 millimeters different. The only problem is with the V3, on certain cells, you can use the smaller lid, which I'll put on for a second. So this is our original V1, V2 lid, and this will only work with the V3 or V2 or V1. So that is one of the drawbacks, but you can only use this with the 280 cells and 280N and 2L, which pretty much you can't get them anymore. And if someone is selling them, they're at least 1.5 years, you know, old. We have some 280Ns left, but they were basically about a little over a year old, but they were the very last ones, and they were delayed because of, you know, COVID. But anyway, that is the difference. The small lid is not going to be compatible with the V4. V4 will only work with the standard lid. So moving forward, if height is absolutely an issue, then the only option I can have is the V3 with the 280N cells. Anyway, that's a little bit of preview of the V4. Again, it is at least 3 months away. So if you're looking for something, I still recommend going ahead and getting the V3 kit. It works great. Cells might be a little difficult to get in, but I'm telling you, once they're in, you'll be happy. And you can still get them out. Worst comes to worst, just drill out these rivets and it's much easier to get on. We don't recommend doing that, but that is one trick you can do if you need to take the cells out of a V3 kit. But anyway, that's it for now, and I'll just give you guys an update when they get closer and closer to launch. Thank you.